Today on the Diz List, we talk to Nick about his trip to Aulani in Hawaii.
Welcome to the Diz List, the podcast that lists everything at Walt Disney World. I'm Nick.
And I'm Rob, and we are back. Today we are talking to Nick about his trip to Aulani.
Yeah.
I'm out of practice, forgetting how to use all the equipment, but we are back. I've been really looking forward to this. I've talked to Nick a little bit about his trip, which we'll get to in a second. I just got back from my trip to Walt Disney World a handful of days ago. So we have a lot of really good content coming your way the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we posted a lot of stuff while we were there, while we were on our trips, but there's a lot of stuff I didn't post. I mean, just this recap here, and then our Patreon recap for Aulani is going to be, a lot of fun for me to kind of go over some of those things. I know I'm excited to hear about your trip, and the things that you did.
And we got together last night, you, me, and our buddy who's a listener, our friend Mark, and talked a little bit just about some things that weren't really related to the podcast, like, hey, I ran into this person, or this person's from our hometown, or whatever. Stuff that's not quite as interesting or Disney related, but there's still a lot of stories that I'm looking forward to hearing what the resort is like. What's Disney about it? What isn't Disney? What did you like? What did you not like? And you had mentioned to me you have some hot takes, which are always my favorite takes are are the hot takes coming from Nick. What you like and what you don't like.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I was shocked at the way that they handled that situation that I had to deal with. So let me start at the beginning.
I didn't want to give away your
okay.
But see, I don't even know, before I even give anything away, I don't know how many people know what even happened. What percentage of the listeners really know what's going on?
I'm assuming a lot of people knew about it because I was getting calls from people all over that I'm friends with.
Okay. So something big happened.
Yeah, our first full day there ended with a tsunami warning. Like sirens blowing across the entire island every hour leading up to 7:10 when the first wave was going to hit.
How crazy is that you wait all year for this fantastic trip to Hawaii, and you get there, and day one, you're potentially hit with a tsunami.
Yeah.
We were really scared. I'm not going to lie.
Well, there were two types of people. There were the people who were respecting Mother Nature and recognizing the severity of this.
Yeah.
And then there were the people who thought it would be a good idea to start a USA chant outside their balconies, chanting USA, USA, or letting their kids start chanting the tsunami, tsunami. And it's like,
oh,
tell me did you forget about the Christmas Day tsunami that killed thousands of people?
Yeah, the videos of those waves rolling in are haunting, and I cannot get them out of my head.
I'm like, are you insane right now? Had it been my kid, I can tell you right now, I'd have been on the horn with Hawaiian Airlines figuring out how I can get a flight home.
Yeah.
Because I would have been so embarrassed.
Yeah.
So that's number one. And if you are a listener who was in Aulani and you allowed your children to do that, kindly unfollow us. I'm sorry. I don't care.
I know.
Because that was ridiculous. Then, basically what happens is we are in the ocean when this is going on. So this is not an Aulani review. I'm just going to talk about the emergency, and in the second half of the show we can really talk about Aulani. We're in the ocean, literally just out in the lagoon floating.
What time of day roughly?
1:45.
Oh, okay. So after lunch, you're hanging out.
Yeah, we had gotten back to the resort, and so we were like, let's go in the ocean. So we go out swimming in the ocean, and it's my daughter's first time swimming in the ocean. Okay, so we're out there, and all of a sudden this lifeguard comes in. Not lifeguard, like a patrolman or something on a skidoo. Yep. Sea-doo, not skidoo. So he comes in on his little Sea-Doo, and he's like, you guys got to get out of the water. There's a tsunami warning. Well, this is because we were in, like, as he was saying this, we're in the water, and everybody has these, like, waterproof phone pouches, and our phones go off like it's an Amber Alert. You know, that siren thing that goes off on your phones, and you have no control over. And I was like, what is going on? Everybody. Like, it was echoing. You figure there's thousands and thousands of people that are at this resort, and all their phones are going off at the same time, and it says tsunami warning, blah, 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 blah. It talks about the earthquake that happened in Russia and says when they expect the first wave. So we're getting out of the water, and I say to my daughter, and I told you this last night, but I say to my daughter, because she was starting to panic, and I was like, look, I understand you're anxious, but if it was that big of a deal, they'd be clearing the pools. By the time we got past the first pool, the whistles start blowing, they're clearing the pools. So now I'm like, well, don't worry. If it were that big of a deal, like, they wouldn't let people stay at the resort. Like, it's not that big a deal. By the time we enter the building, they have closed every single restaurant on property and are evacuating floors 1 and 2. So now I'm like, oh, okay. This is a bigger deal than, and I knew it was a big deal, but I didn't think it was. What I had been told by one person who was local said, honestly, every time there's an earthquake in the Pacific Rim, we get a tsunami warning.
Yeah.
Or a tsunami watch.
Sure.
But what I hadn't recognized, and why I was okay with it, and we know the difference between these things. So there was a watch, tsunami watch. It had been upgraded from a watch to a warning, and I missed that part. So just like when we have a severe thunderstorm watch.
Sure, or a tornado. We get the tornado ones here in Western New York.
Correct. And so when you have those things, or like a blizzard watch or whatever, and then when it changes to a warning, we're like, okay, now maybe it's time to go and get the water and extra stuff over at the local grocery store.
Yeah.
So at that point, they had shut everything down. They're moving people up. So they evacuate these rooms, and I don't know financially what they did for these people to make it right. They better have done something.
Right, we talked about that last night too. Just curious how they handled it.
They gave them some blankets. They gave them air mattresses for what they had, but we're talking about 2 entire floors.
It's a lot. And you were telling me
it's a massive resort.
You'll get to this later, but you said the size of this resort is similar to Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Long hallways.
Super long hallways.
50 rooms per, that branch of that part of the hotel?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. What's an estimate?
Yeah, probably
50?
Each.
25 either side?
I would say each branch has 50 per floor.
Yeah.
And there's 2 branches. It's a massive resort.
Right.
And so they evacuate the first 2 floors.
So that could be... That's 200 people there, plus a whole other side. Would your
200 rooms?
200 rooms.
Yeah,
200 rooms times 2 for another building.
How
many people you think? 400, 200 people were displaced from the resort.
Probably close to 500 people.
Wow.
Every single floor has the common area by the elevator.
Yep.
It was on my floor. There were 15 people.
Wow.
On my floor. I walked out. I saw this woman. This is an older woman, and I said to her, I asked her if she needed any water or anything because she was clearly displaced. She had all of her luggage with her. They packed up what they could out of the room in a hurry in case it flooded. All of their belongings that they had with them they could bring. And I asked her if she wanted any water. She said she would like that, so I went back and got a couple bottles of water, and her granddaughter was with her and her daughter. And so I brought the granddaughter a snack. I brought her an Uncrustable because that's all we had. We didn't have a whole bunch of food.
That was nice of you guys.
And told them, hey, if you need anything, this is the room I'm in. If you guys are if you get to a point where you can't stay out here, it's whatever. I said, my daughter is the same age as yours. Whatever.
And so you gave him your room number and said, hey.
My room number said, hey, just come knock on the door and we'll be up because we're obviously trying to pay attention to this situation as well.
And I can't remember if you said this yet or not, but this is part of the story. You're on the 5th floor.
We're on the 5th floor.
Okay. I figured that's probably the right time to say this.
Yeah, we were told that we were fine where we were at.
Okay.
And the way Aulani is situated, the 5th floor is not really just the 5th floor, because when you walk up from the beach and you walk up to you end up being much higher. Or at least it feels like you're much higher than.
So they have a utilidors, and then.
Well, I don't know if it's that, but
no,
but
I'm just trying to.
So at one point we had a couple. Basically, our bathroom became a communal bathroom for a little while there, but whatever. But here's where I was really angry with Disney. So they're coming over the loudspeaker, playing like this alarm, and then giving updates of information, kind of like what you might expect on a cruise ship when they're doing one of their drills.
So they have exterior speakers blaring. That's what this is.
And it's in the room. Okay. So it's in the hallway and in the room, and it's just giving an update. And they said, tune to the local news station for more details, which is all well and good if you don't have a resort-wide IT issue making it so that the TVs don't work. For the first 3 days of our trip, the TVs,
had no TV.
Correct. Which I don't care. I don't go on vacation to watch TV. But don't make in your announcement, tune to the local news station. And oh, by the way, guess what else didn't work? You couldn't cast to the TV. So you know how you can cast on Disney TVs?
Yeah.
It wasn't letting you cast to the TV. So I couldn't even cast the live stream of the local NBC, ABC, CBS, whoever. Right. So that irked me a little bit. There was very little communication about, hey, you are safe at this spot. Like, there was no call to the room, which I get. It's like, they're probably like, what the heck am I doing? I got to get to my family too.
Right. If you have 500 people roughly on the first 2 floors, you got to make all those phone calls.
Right.
The easiest way is what you just said, is making some kind of announcement over the PA, and being teachers when there's an emergency.
Right. It's a good way to get the information out if it's relevant.
Or you have a teacher just playing bongos over the PA.
Yeah, don't even get me started.
Sorry, just a quick joke. Just trying to. This is serious. I'm just trying to lighten
in the
mood
middle of a
bit.
Regents.
Yes, I'm just trying to lighten the mood here.
So then there's 7 o'clock is when the first wave is supposed to hit, right? So I'm out on the balcony trying to pay attention to see, like, are we going to have to go even higher? Like, what's going to happen? 7 o'clock comes, 7:10 comes, 7:15 comes, 7:20 comes, and nothing is really happening at this point. And it's at that point that we are now basically realizing, okay, while the tsunami did approach and did have some waves that, because they did tell you the first wave is oftentimes not the biggest wave. So a lot of what happened on the North Shore as far as the largest waves, but they were like 5.5 feet, which is a lot.
That's tall.
Because a tsunami wave is different than a regular shore break wave. It just comes in and keeps going, whereas a shore break wave will come in and then
stop and recede. Yeah.
So it was a lot, but at that point we knew, okay, we're safe. Okay. Disney comes over the loudspeaker again. Now, they have shut down all the restaurants. Every restaurant on the island, essentially, anywhere near the coast, is shut down. There's no food left in the store, like the little shop downstairs, because they did keep that open. But like
everybody went and bought everything.
Oh, they sold out of water like that. Like, they were gone.
Jeez, people are probably eating toothpaste.
And I've got to tell you right now, Disney made a killing on booze that night, because nobody ever buys their wine and their liquor. They were selling out. They were like, their shelves were empty. I was laughing. I was like, tell me you didn't go over to the ABC store ahead of time and get it. So they're out of food, and they come over the speaker and say, we have a limited amount of food left for purchase for those who are displaced.
Oh boy.
Like, I want you to think about what that statement is, right? Hey, we made the entire luau worth of food.
I know.
Had to cancel the luau an hour before it was supposed to start.
So where is all that food?
So that food is cooked and sitting in a warmer, and we decide...
You can purchase it.
You can purchase it, even though we kicked you out of your room at 1:30 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, whatever it was that they kicked him out of the room, and didn't let you go back in till 11:30 at night when we finally went floor to floor and told people.
Wow.
But you can purchase a plate of food from the luau. I was flabbergasted. Like, purchase? Say what? Like, I'm not saying that they can control the weather. I'm not saying they can control natural disasters. I'm not saying that it's their fault. But I don't think that on Walt Disney World property, it would have went down like that. Like, I know that Disney has those things like that protocol when a hurricane hits and they have to like restrict people.
Yep.
They have protocol. And I'm not saying that they need to give away free food. But this isn't food that they made for those people. This is food they made for a luau they had to cancel that's going to go bad.
Yeah. Yep.
It's going to go bad. And you kick these people out of their rooms right at check-in time for some of these people. They didn't get to check into their room, some of them. So they had gotten off a flight. Like, had we arrived that day, Tuesday instead of Monday, we would have been pulling up as they were evacuating the rooms.
And that's true to quite a few guests, I bet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. There were other guests who were leaving the next day trying to figure out whether their flight was canceled or not.
Wow.
Flights coming inbound were turned around and went back to the nearest airports.
That's
it was
scary.
a bit, I mean, because the airport in Oahu, the Honolulu airport is like literally on the ocean. Like a heavy duty tsunami would have like completely washed out that. Like, what if it had been like the Christmas Day tsunami? It would have been bad.
Wow.
Obviously. But that they can't control that. Disney doesn't control that. I'm just pointing out that the way that they handled that aspect, some of the shine was like completely gone at that point.
Well, I think that's fair to say. That's your opinion. And I think it's fine to say, hey, I don't agree with this. They should have done that. I mean, could there possibly be other factors in play? Yeah, we don't know.
Like,
but
they can charge me.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't displaced. They want to say, hey, if you're on floors, 3 through whatever, and would like to get a bite of food, go to this restaurant. We're serving food.
Yep. Tell them your floor, 170 or 170, but 100 this, or 200 this.
Like, I'm cool with that because I wasn't displaced.
Mm-hmm.
But the family who I'm giving water to and Uncrustables to and opening my bathroom to, they have to pay for your leftovers that have been sitting since they were cooked at 4 o'clock, your leftover pulled pork, your buffet stuff. Like, I'm hoping that maybe when they got there, maybe they said purchase, and then when the people got there, it was not for purchase. It was like, here you go.
Let's hope so.
Anyway, that was bonkers. Here's what I will tell you. In the second half of the show, we do have some very good things.
Wow. No, I'm kidding.
And we do have some amazing stories to tell. But I wanted to open up with the craziness that was part of my trip.
Well, and I'm sure that's everybody's first question.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're a longtime listener,
I got a lot of messages from listeners.
Oh, I'm sure.
One listener and follower on Instagram lives in Hawaii. She lives actually on the other side of the island of Oahu, and she sent me her phone number and said if something like wherever they live is high ground. And she's like, if it hits the fan, text me.
That is awesome. Shout out to her.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
In the second half of the show, though, we are going to talk about all the good things. We're actually going to get down to what Aulani is like. I'll talk about the good, the bad. We already talked about the ugly, so that's out of the way. But we will talk about that when we get back to you guys right after this. Welcome back. Today we're recapping my trip to Aulani in Oahu, just outside of Honolulu. Mm-hmm. I had a great time. First, I want to say our patrons are going to get the off-property look. We're going to give the off-property recap and just about what things we did and experienced at Aulani, or in Hawaii, I should say. But for this show, we are doing what really was happening at Disney's resort. When you pull up to this, you realize the scale and scope of it. It is a massive resort. And it is so reminiscent of Animal Kingdom Lodge because Joe Rohde has his fingerprints all over it. If you know Joe Rohde and you walk in there, it's like, yeah, that's Joe Rohde.
So you walk in the main doors. Does it have like a giant grand entrance?
So I've got to be honest with you. I was underwhelmed.
Really?
Not in a I was
low ceiling.
I was expecting not low, but I was expecting like a great ceremonial house feel from Poly.
It's what I picture in my head, or wilderness lodges like that.
I would say front to back, front door to the back door where the lanai is maybe 70 feet.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
The lobby is remarkably small, and not in a bad way, right? I was expecting exactly what you're talking about with the big grandiose.
So compare it to the Polynesian, because I bet the majority of our listeners,
a third of the size.
Okay, because the majority of our listeners can picture the Polynesian.
Yeah, there's no hustle and bustle right there. So when you walk in, it's just like this lobby area with a few seats and stuff like that. You can immediately see the ocean, and there's like a wall of glass that they can open up, and it was open because it was a beautiful day. So that's open, it's blowing through. But it was not this grandiose thing.
Yeah.
If you've been to Animal Kingdom Lodge, I would say this is like walking into Kidani, not like walking into Jambo. Jambo House has the big, huge lobby. It's like, whoa, this is amazingly huge.
I can picture that in my head.
Kidani is much smaller. It's more intimate. It wasn't a bad lobby. It was just, when you walk in, it was underwhelming. So, check-in process was great. There were a lot of people checking in. There is a DVC line, so that was nice. I was able to check in there. But even if I hadn't been in that line, it was moving pretty quickly. They were pretty good.
Good.
And I did not do remote check-in or digital check-in, whatever. I've had mixed results. When you check in digitally, a lot of times they're like, oh, they're ready to check in, so we're going to just give them the first available room.
Yeah.
And what I did is I was like, hey, I don't care. Like, we're going to go off, get a bite to eat and stuff, so the room's ready when it's ready. As a result, we ended up getting what we wanted.
Good.
I wanted the highest floor possible, which in hindsight was pretty good. But I wanted the highest floor possible because there is a chance you can get the ocean, see the ocean, which we could. The angle was a little off for us, but we could see the ocean. And by being higher, it mitigated some of that pool noise. Like, we heard the water, which is fine. That's like that white noise water, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But we weren't hearing as much of the screams from the slide and kids yelling and stuff like that.
Now, some of the reels and videos that you posted has your views. So if anyone is listening and saying, I'm kind of curious what it was like.
Yeah.
Anytime really you went live, you would always hit the button and flip around and show the view. So
you could see, so the way the building is made, you can see up to the mountain with a poolside garden view. You can generally see up into the mountains. And then you can also see out onto the pool area. And if you're high enough, you can kind of catch a partial glimpse of the ocean.
You did. I think when we both went live together, you sort of showed me it was to the far left, and you had kind of a area where you were like, oh, here's the ocean. I could see it.
Yeah, you can definitely see it from there. I wouldn't call it an ocean view, but it's got a better view than some of the ocean views do. Some of the ocean view rooms are really poorly. I mean, you're basically looking at, you have the ocean, but you're looking right into the Four Seasons, which is next door.
Well, and Disney does such a good job, like with creating their rock work and those environments personally, I love looking at that stuff. Yeah. Anytime I'm going by, like when we were just driving by Saratoga Springs, I had no idea that they had this really cool rock work for their pool. I was shocked what their pool looked like. It was so cool because they do such a great job with it. So looking at the view, looking from what you showed us, it was huge. It was expansive. It was almost like not a maze where you'd get lost, but it just seemed, I guess my best way of describing it when I use the term maze is it didn't look man-made. It still looked natural.
I mean, it's a maze. I'm going to tell you, so if we'll jump right into, well, let me go to the room first and we'll jump to the grounds.
Great.
So the room itself, is also reminiscent of Animal Kingdom's rooms. Dark woods.
More than Polynesian?
Yes.
Okay.
I felt it was more. Maybe it's because Polynesian has been updated recently.
Sure.
But the super dark woods, the lighting was muted, which is fine. They do have ceiling fans, which is cool to move the air around. The issue with the one in the main bed in the master bedroom was noisy, and by noisy I don't mean like it was loud moving. It had like as it turned, it would get to one spot and do that squeak in one spot. You know what I mean?
I do.
When a motor on a ceiling fan starting to go.
Yep.
So I didn't really turn that one on much. Bathroom was nice. Nice walk-in shower, and then we had the big soaker tub as well. Washer dryer in the room, full kitchen because it's a 1-bedroom DVC. The room was good. Do I think it needs to be updated? Yes, but it's on schedule to be updated. Mm-hmm. It's not bad. It definitely needs some updates, right? Just the furniture is showing its wear and tear. There aren't as many plugs as you would expect in a newer room, a new refurb. The building, the grounds are lush, beautiful. There's an amazing koi pond, which I thought of you when I was looking at this koi pond. Like,
I love it.
Absolutely gorgeous. It really felt immersive.
Great.
But it really is a maze. It is very difficult to find your way around there until you kind of. It took us 2 days to kind of get our bearings and figure out where things were. You can get lost, and not like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna find my way. But it's very easy to be like,
wait, where are we now?
Like I walked for quite a while before I found like the little snow cone. Not snow cone. It's their shave ice. It's not very good shave ice. Good shave ice, you got to go off property. But like they're like little shave ice stand and stuff like that, and it's in the pool area, but it's like smack dab in the middle, and it's impossible to know where it is. Like it's difficult to get around. Once you figure it out, it's nice because like you know which path to take. But there's like 8 different ways to get everywhere, so it is kind of maze-like. I'm not gonna lie. The pool does not have enough chairs. This is the thing at Aulani. If anybody's been to Aulani, they will tell you this. There are not enough chairs to go around at the pool. Okay? We knew that going in, so we had booked a cabana because of it. Mm-hmm. But like you can't get pool chairs, and you certainly can't get pool chairs that are in a good spot. You can usually by mid-afternoon start to get ocean chairs again, like at the lagoon, the man-made lagoon there in Olina, but that's a little bit harder. Pools are great. There's a lazy river. My wife calls it the not so lazy river because unlike the one at Beach Club, which is deep, this one is quite shallow. Oh. So when you're on your tube, your feet would drag, and that's not fun.
It's good for little kids. It's not as good for adults.
But it encourages people to like walk or in many cases run through this lazy river.
Sure.
That's the other thing is you got to have a tube. You don't have to have a tube, but a lot of people would like to use a tube because there's not enough tubes because they have a tube slide and the lazy river. There's not enough tubes.
Oh, I didn't know there was a tube slide too.
So since there's not enough tubes to go around, people go in the lazy river without a tube, so they're swimming and running and doing stuff like that, and it makes it a little bit hectic. I wasn't a big fan of the lazy river. The tube slide and the regular slide were both really good.
I want to look up a map while you're talking. I know that doesn't help on an audio podcast, but
no, that's fine.
I mean, if listeners want to do that too, I'm just going to look up.
Then
keep talking.
There's the main pool, which is what so the tube slide lets out into the lazy river. The body slide, I guess I'll call it, where you're not on a tube, that lets out into the main pool area. That main pool area is very nice, has a 0 entry. They do a little show in the middle of the afternoon with Goofy and Mickey and Max come out and they lead a dance party.
Max?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Max is making a big comeback because the parents of these younger kids were in that generation. Yeah. I missed it. That's not part of. Yeah. And I'm a little older than you, but
no,
I think
I didn't really,
you weren't around for. Well, not that you weren't around. We were a little older when Goofy movie came out.
It's more my youngest brother's age, right? And like the 5-year window around him.
And I don't know the character too well, and I don't mind him. I think he's a lot of fun. And there's one song from that movie that's making a big comeback.
Yeah. I don't really pay attention.
Powerline?
Powerline's the name of the act.
Okay. Our listeners are yelling at me right now. It's just not. There's a very few number of properties in Disney I'm not super familiar with. That's one. Emperor's New Groove. Like, there's a few that I don't know very well.
So
but I'm very honest about it. When I don't, I tell people.
So at the main pool, they do a little dance party there, and then there's the Kamaka Grotto.
This one top right.
Yeah. So that grotto is closest to the water.
Yeah.
Closest to the ocean, I should say. And there is like a grotto you can sit under. It's got it's got an infinity edge on it that overlooks the ocean.
Oh, so that's where you rented the cabana then?
That's where I rented the cabana. So the cabanas are there. And then behind the cabanas there's a restroom. Then there is the only quick service on property.
What?
That is all the way down at the pool.
Wait, so hold on.
No, hold on. I'll get there. There's that. And then behind that is the adult adult pool, adults only pool. Yes. So you heard me right.
Oh my gosh.
There is a quick service. This is why it's not Aulani is not for people expecting to have a Disney vacation. Aulani's for people who want to go and sit on a beach and sit in a pool. It is not for people that should expect to have decent food at decent. Not that Disney prices are decent, but like they're at least reasonable. The prices here were reasonable, but the portions were tiny. And the fact that if I wanted to have chicken fingers at 2:30 in the afternoon, but I wanted to eat them in my room, I had to walk a half mile, and I'm not exaggerating.
I was just going to say that. Let's say you're in room 560.
I'm in 582.
Okay, well, that's pretty far too. So you're in 582. That's a pretty long walk to get all the way over to the quick service place.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. The quick service place wasn't so quick.
Oh boy.
Like it was ridiculous how long it took to get anything. So I can't speak too highly of the food at Ulu Cafe, which is the quick service.
Mm-hmm.
What I can say is Olelo Room and Off the Hook were both good food. They were maybe overpriced for the portion size. Okay. And before you say, well, it's Hawaii, and Hawaii, the food, everything's imported. I ate a lot off of the resort. And I can tell you right now that I paid the same amount for a breakfast one day at a place called Eggs and Things across the street that I paid the day before at Off the Hook at Aulani. They were the same breakfast, basically. Okay, it was fried rice. It was a fried rice loco moco, and half the portion at Disney, half the portion.
Wow.
So it's like across the street. It was better made, but like the food was okay, right? We did not do makahiki. We did not do ama ama. And if you say, why didn't you do those? Those are like the signature places to go there, because they're prefix. And I have a fundamental issue with prefix dining. Prefix dining is stupid, right? Disney has this newfound love for prefix dining, and it is ridiculous, right? $132 for my 10-year-old daughter because she's a Disney adult. And there's no way for me around that, right, when you make this reservation, because she's a Disney adult. So $132 to eat, and that's, I mean, we got the cabana. The cabana was cheaper than the luau.
Wow.
And trust me when I say the cabana was darn expensive. The luau would have cost us close to $1,000 when we're all said and done.
So the luau is off here, off to the left. So if you're looking at the resort and the ocean is at the top, the luau it's kind of out off by itself on the far left-hand side.
So if you are walking into the hotel or into the resort, for the most part, the rooms on the right side, if you turn right when you go into the lobby, most of those are the hotel side. Not all, but many of those are. Most of the hotel side rooms are over there. The DVC rooms, which you can still rent from them, those are most of what is called the Eva Tower. It's the feminine side of the resort. Okay, so that it's broken up into a feminine side and a masculine side, and they've got like these, like it's got like Maui is on one, and so has to do with like a cultural significance of Hawaii.
Yeah, that's why I'm not questioning you. I figured.
Yeah, it tells stories. Yeah. So food there. If you're going to Aulani and being like, I want to just stay in one place. I don't want to leave the resort. I want to be able to be in this bubble at Aulani and eat here. I'm here to tell you that this Aulani's not for you. You have to leave because the food it's good food. I'm not going to, like, I had really good sushi at Olelu room. My son had a decent looking steak there. But it's not great. And I couldn't eat there more than one day. I just couldn't. Now there are places across the street that we ate at more than once. Monkey Pod is a must-do if you go to Aulani. They have one of the best happy hours, and because we're coming from the East Coast, we were looking to eat dinner at the time their happy hour was starting, so it was perfect. There's a place called 808 Craft House over there, which is kind of like a microbrew kind of feel. There's a cantina, a Mexican cantina over there. It's okay. Eggs and Things is one of the best breakfasts I had on the island.
How far of a walk are all these? Because I'm sure there's people listening who are like, I think I might want to do this. How am I going to pull this off with my family?
5 minutes, 10 minutes, if that. It would be like walking. If you were at the boardwalk, it'd be like walking to Epcot.
Okay.
So
how about a grocery store?
There's the ABC store, which if you've ever been to Hawaii, ABC stores are like a thing. And that's like you can get everything. Grocery type stuff. You can get souvenirs. You can get, you name it, right? You can get alcohol, whatever. But the Target in Kapolei is 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Not walkable.
No, not walkable, but it is 100%. If you rented a car, very easy to do. And I believe they accept like Uber Eats and DoorDash drivers, like if you ordered delivery for groceries.
Oh, great.
So I believe they would allow that, and you could just go out there and pick it up. The cast members. Let's talk about the cast members. Some of the best interactions with a cast member I've ever had.
Excellent. That's great news.
Every single person that I talked to, with the exception of the dude who was just talking at me through the announcing that that people who've been displaced can buy food. Every person I had a face-to-face interaction with was outstanding. From the lifeguards to the bellman to they were all amazing. Fun, outgoing. You know, every morning it's aloha. They see you in the halls and they're talking to you. Really, really top-notch interactions. The DVC staff was so good. Usually at those resorts, the DVC staff, even if they know you're a member, are a little pushy about like, oh, let's set up a meeting, blah, blah, blah. They were like, hey, you're here. Oh, welcome home. Let's talk about where's your home? Oh, it's Polynesian. Oh, cool. Then you're at the real one. Let's talk about, like, we had a guy who's like, you need to go eat at such and such. Like, this is where you have a car, you got to go drive there.
Good.
Go eat there.
Well, I mean, that's what you want.
Yeah. The cast members, I have never had interactions like that with cast members at Disney World. And I've had very good interactions, but they were phenomenal. I didn't have one negative cast member interaction that I can even remotely think of.
Good.
It was very good. So questions that you have.
Yeah.
Go.
Well, I mean, my main question, always has to do with like food and navigation at the resort. So, I mean, you answered most of that for me is like, for example, when we stayed with you at the Polynesian, I feel like we ate at Captain Jack's so many times.
Oh, Captain Hooks.
Captain Cook's.
Captain Cook.
We were both wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's rare.
Yeah.
When we were eating there, we just ate there so much. I kind of got sick of it. So I can see your point where it's expensive. I feel like, at least for me, I like to have a little bit of variety. so getting out and going to these different places and experimenting, it's a little bit harder. Coming from me, it's somebody with family with celiac disease, but I realize most people are not in that boat, so they have the freedom to kind of
I don't think it would be a major issue for you. First of all, almost every place the side is rice.
It's rice and some kind of meat or
it's like they eat so much rice,
fruit.
That, I don't think you'd have a major issue. There were plenty of places that we went to that had gluten-free items on the menu and said so.
Good.
One of the only places where I heard someone explicitly say, no, we don't have anything for you, was on the airplane, which is like, okay, it's the airplane. You know what I mean?
How about the only other big question I had was, it's kind of a two-parter. Did they have any meet and greets or anything with characters?
Yes.
And then talk about kind of what they focused on in the gift shops.
Okay, so character meet and greets alternate throughout. Now they're going on throughout the day. In the morning, you'll get a schedule on your app, and it basically says who's meeting where, when. So like some days they're more unique characters. So some days it's like...
Oh, it's not always Moana or Stitch.
Correct. Some days it's like Moana, Stitch, Angel, Olumel, and Duffy.
Who's Olumel?
He is a turtle who is like a mascot of Aulani, and...
I think I have seen him before.
So...
And then Duffy is the Japanese mascot.
He's supposedly like Mickey's teddy bear, but like whatever. Yeah,
he's really big in the Asian part.
Yeah, he's huge. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, like that line was always super long. My daughter had no interest in meeting anybody except Angel. That's who she's like. I need to meet Angel. She was able to meet Angel. Then on other days they have Goofy, Donald, Daisy. Not Daisy. Yes, Daisy. Goofy, Donald, Daisy, Mickey. Was Pluto there? Max is definitely there. But like, you look in the app, it tells you who's meeting when. It was very easy to do. You go get in a line. They also will be walking around sometimes and doing stuff. So like my first day there, I'm walking around and all of a sudden Daisy Duck is like walking behind me.
Cool.
I turn around, I was like, whoa, what the heck? And
what is this, Disneyland?
Yeah, and Minnie and Mickey were standing up on the lanai waving to people. I was like, this is crazy.
It's cool.
So yeah, they do have character meet and greets there. And what was the second part of your question? I'm sorry.
Just what, and I think
the shops.
I think I kind of got my answer because you mentioned the turtle character, and when you said that, I remembered that when we were at the Polynesian, that there was some Aulani merch, and they had kind of this turtle keychain that said Aulani Resort, and it sort of jogged my memory. So if you're listening and you're not driving right now, and how do you spell it so people can look up this particular character?
Oh, Olumel.
Yeah.
OLU-MEL.
Okay.
I think. But or apostrophe MEL. So I will tell you this, that the shopping there was also a little underwhelming. There's a super expensive one. A super expensive shop that sells like the Tommy Bahama and the expensive, I forget the name of it already, Kahala, I think it is, but I can't remember exactly. But it's an expensive brand of Aloha shirts. They had that's where they have their Tory Burch stuff. They have their lug bags, their Dooney and Burks. That store was like fun to look at, but I'm not buying anything there.
Yeah.
And they had their main gift shop, typical ears and stuff. A lot of bride and groom merch because a lot of people go there on their honeymoon.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Aulani exclusive stuff, which was really nice, like Spirit jerseys and stuff. Some great swimwear. There was a gift shop out by the pool that sold a lot of swim stuff and stuff like swim shirts and rash guards. That was Aulani.
Your wife and daughter are huge Mickey ear or mini ear collectors.
Yeah, we got two. We got two pairs.
Okay.
One, they were both Aulani ears, Aulani exclusive ears, or resort ears. And they have their typical pins, right? They've got pins that are specifically for Aulani. They have pins in general. They've got their ornaments like you would expect at any place like that. The merch was pretty good. The last day we were there, they had Halloween had exploded in the so like when we were leaving, as we walked by, they had stocked up for Halloween on Monday, August 4th. They had stocked it up. So all the Halloween stuff was out. They had some really cool Halloween stuff. I'm not a big person of like getting Halloween merch.
But I am, but I didn't go too crazy.
But like the Halloween merch they had, it was like really cool. I wouldn't wear it personally. So, but it was good. It was good. The shopping was okay. It wasn't huge. Wasn't a ton of stuff. Personally, we bought most of our souvenirs off property. Different Hawaiian stuff like that.
All right, so here's the last question.
Yeah.
Then we'll wrap it up. I think this is a good one to end with.
Okay.
Just thought of it now. So, first part of the question, would you go again? If the answer is yes, how long would it be in between that you would want to go back to Aulani?
Would I go to Aulani again, or would I go to
Would you
Hawaii?
go to Aulani again?
If somebody was paying for it, it's not. I'll
Sure.
I'll be flat out.
This is what I wanted you to.
It's 100%. It is 100% not worth the DVC points I spent to stay there.
There you go.
It's not. The cabana was great. I didn't really talk about that, but the cabana was cool.
You could talk about that in the Patreon show.
Yeah, it was great. The people are great. Here's the thing. Our best memories came away from the property, and the property wasn't that spectacular that would make me want to go back. If you're going as somebody who wants to do like the whole spa thing, and you want to have, a nice, easy, quote unquote, lagoon to swim in, cool. You can probably pull off Aulani. I think for the amount of points that I spent to have a 1-bedroom there, the fact that I could have had a 2-bedroom pretty much anywhere on Walt Disney World property, I wouldn't stay at I do not regret going to Hawaii.
You had a great time. Your family had a great
100%.
time.
100%. I would go back to Oahu. I think the next time we go to Hawaii, if we go to Hawaii, my wife really wants to bring me to Maui. She's been to Maui and loves that island.
Well, plus one of your good friends from college lives there. We'll talk about that. No,
he lives in Honolulu. He lives on Oahu.
Okay.
So,
but that's another reason for you to go back.
Right. So
but your answer is you probably wouldn't go back to Aulani specifically.
No, I would either seek out a different resort on the North Shore, or I would look into Airbnb, which I get there's some ethical concerns on Oahu about Airbnbs. But like I would look into that before I did Aulani again. And that's not, it's just me. It doesn't mean, it's just not for everybody. And I enjoyed my time there, but it's just not.
I'm sure we have listeners.
It's not worth it.
There's probably people who are listening to this now, and it's probably a year or two from even when we're recording this.
Yeah.
I feel like you would encourage people to reach out to you for questions.
Yeah.
Because I bet there's people who are saying, I'd like to take my family. Should I stay at Aulani? Should I, and then where? So I guess my point is, I'm assuming it's yes, but you're okay with people reaching out through Instagram or
of course
or whatever and asking you questions.
I'm not saying that it wasn't a good place to go, because it was a very fun vacation. I'm saying that for me, I don't think that that it was worth the number of points that I spent. Now, if I had paid cash, I would be furious, to be honest with you.
Sure.
Like, I know what the rack rate is there, and I don't think it's anywhere near worth that. Those rooms are not that great. They're good, but they're not. But then again, I don't think that rack rate is worth it at Poly either. Like, I don't think that the Grand Floridian deserves to be charging what they do for rack rate.
Yeah.
So that's not me insulting Aulani. That's the truth about a lot of Disney places. So yeah, like I said, I was happy. I loved my trip. I don't know that I would necessarily go back to this resort again. I certainly would think twice about spending my points there with a family. I might go back to that resort with my wife, just like a solo, like an adults only trip, where we could maybe just get a studio and not spend as much on the room.
Well, plus you have young kids and they count as adults. That's hard.
Yeah. Well, I liked it. I'll go back to Hawaii. I don't know that I'll go back to Aulani.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can read. It's not for everybody. That resort's not for everybody. And I kind of don't think it was for me, but I loved it. I had a good time.
Well, I think that's why I feel like that's the best way to end it is, are you going to go back?
No.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Not to Aulani.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm not going to sugarcoat it for people. And
look at it this way: you have a checklist of things that you want to do in your life. This was on it. You checked it off. Cool. I'll do something else.
We would not have gone to Hawaii had I not owned DVC points. Now I would like to go back to Hawaii, not staying at the DVC resort.
Sure.
So I mean, it served a purpose, and I liked it. Had a good time, but I don't think I would stay there again. Mm-hmm. And there's reasons that are beyond Disney's control there too. So, but guys, it's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow is just a list away.
Tune in next time, and we'll see you real soon.